Welcome to another deep dive today. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to explore the story of John Pemberton, the man who gave us Coca Cola. But, this isn't just about a drink. It's about resilience and the unexpected turns that life can take. Those moments that feel like setbacks, but might actually be leading to something bigger.
Yeah, it's amazing how a single person's journey can have such a ripple effect, isn't it? And Pemberton's story is full of those what-if moments that could have changed everything.
Exactly. So let's set the scene. It's 1886, Atlanta, Georgia. Imagine bustling drugstores, the rise of soda fountains as symbols of health, and the temperance movement gaining momentum.
The temperance movement.
This movement was all about advocating against alcohol and had a huge impact on society at the time.
It was a powerful force shaping everything from social gatherings to legislation. It's crucial to understanding the context in which Coca-Cola emerged.
All right, and into this world walks John Pemberton, a wounded Confederate colonel, a pharmacist by trade, and struggling with morphine addiction after the war. He was searching for relief, for purpose, and his knowledge of medicine became his path forward.
What's so compelling about Pemberton is that he was driven by a deep personal need. He wasn't setting out to create a global empire. He was looking for a solution to his own pain.
And in that search, he stumbled upon something that would change the world. But it wasn't a straight line from morphine addiction to Coca-Cola. His first creation was actually something called Pemberton's French wine Coca.
Ah, yes, the Coca wine tonic.
Yeah.
It was inspired by a popular drink at the time called Vin Mariani, and it was marketed as a nerve tonic. People back then were fascinated by these tonics, seeing them as a way to boost their health and vitality.
So this was more than just a drink. It was tapping into a cultural trend.
Absolutely. And this tonic was where Pemberton combined two key ingredients: coca leaves, the source of cocaine, and the African cola nut, which gave it a caffeine kick. It's fascinating to think that this was the foundation for what would become Coca-Cola.
Hold on, I need to clarify this for our listeners. We're talking about cocaine in a drink marketed for health. That seems so different from our understanding today.
Right. It's a reminder of how much societal norms and scientific understanding have changed. Back then, cocaine was seen as a medicinal ingredient, and its use wasn't as stigmatized.
It really makes you think about how our perspectives on certain things evolve over time. But back to Pemberton's story. This Coca wine tonic wasn't destined to last, was it?
No, it wasn't. Fate, in the form of Atlanta's prohibition laws, intervened in 1886. Alcohol was banned, which forced Pemberton to rethink his whole approach.
This feels like one of those pivotal moments you mentioned earlier. What did Pemberton do give up on his creation?
Not at all. He adapted. He created a non-alcoholic version of his tonic, removing the wine but keeping the coca leaves and cola nut. And he marketed it brilliantly as the temperance drink, aligning it perfectly with the dominant social movement of the time.
That's incredible. He turned a legal obstacle into a marketing opportunity. It's like he was accidentally pushed towards his destiny.
It really is a testament to his resilience and ability to think outside the box. And that's how on May 8th, 1886, Coca-Cola was born.
Wow. I can only imagine what it was like to be there on that day at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta, a 5-cent glass of this new temperance drink. Did anyone have any idea they were witnessing the birth of a global icon?
It's doubtful anyone could have foreseen what Coca-Cola would become, but it's important to remember that at this point, Coca-Cola was still being marketed as a patent medicine.
Right, we touched on that earlier. What exactly was Pemberton claiming it could cure?
Oh, the list is fascinating. Headaches, indigestion, nerve disorders, even impotence. It was a cure-all elixir in his eyes.
Wow. It's almost comical looking back, isn't it? We think of Coca-Cola as this refreshing drink, but it started as a medicinal concoction.
It speaks to the power of marketing and the evolving nature of scientific understanding. Pemberton truly believed in the healing properties of his creation, and he marketed it accordingly.
And remember, this was the era of patent medicines. People were eager to find remedies for their ailments, and they were willing to try anything that promised relief.
Exactly. And to be fair, some of the ingredients did have certain effects. Coca leaves were known to have stimulant and mild analgesic properties, and the cola nut provided caffeine, which was also thought to have therapeutic benefits.
So people might have actually felt some kind of effect after drinking Coca-Cola, whether it was real or simply the placebo effect.
It's a fascinating interplay between science and perception, but sadly, Pemberton's story takes a bittersweet turn. He was never able to fully capitalize on his invention, struggling financially and still battling his own demons.
This is the part of the story that I find particularly poignant. Here's this man who created something that would bring joy to millions, yet he was facing his own internal struggles.
It's a reminder that even amidst great achievements, personal battles can persist. Pemberton ultimately sold the rights to Coca Cola before his death in 1888.
So that's the end of Pemberton's direct involvement with Coca Cola. But the story doesn't end there, does it?
Not at all. This is where a new chapter begins with a businessman named Asa Candler entering the picture. He saw the potential of Coca Cola beyond its medicinal origins.
Candler was the one who transformed Coca Cola into the global brand we know today.
Yes, he was. He was a shrewd marketer who recognized the power of this drink. He bought the rights from Pemberton's estate and set about building an empire. He focused on the taste, the refreshment, the feeling Coca Cola evoked rather than its medicinal qualities.
It's fascinating how the focus shifted so dramatically, from a cure-all tonic to a symbol of refreshment and enjoyment.
It's a testament to Candler's vision and his understanding of the changing market. He expanded production, created a nationwide bottling network, and launched innovative advertising campaigns that cemented Coca Cola's place in American culture.
And it's a legacy that continues to this day. We see Coca Cola everywhere, from sporting events to movie theaters to our own refrigerators.
It's a truly global phenomenon. And while Pemberton might not have lived to see the full extent of his creation's impact, his story reminds us that sometimes the things we create out of personal necessity can have a far greater reach than we ever imagined.
It's a reminder that our struggles, our searches for meaning, can lead to unexpected and even world-altering outcomes. But there's more to this story, isn't there? I'm particularly intrigued by the whole White Coke incident during World War II.
Ah, yes. That's a fascinating little anecdote that highlights the cultural significance Coca-Cola had achieved by that point. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, a fan of the drink, requested a special version be made for a Soviet Marshal, Georgy Zhukov, who's also quite fond of Coca-Cola.
But why a special version? Was there something wrong with the regular Coca-Cola?
It wasn't about the drink itself, but rather the symbolism. Zhukov, while enjoying Coca-Cola, didn't want to be seen publicly drinking something so closely associated with American culture, especially during a time of political tension.
So they created a clear version, White Coke, just for him to avoid any diplomatic faux pas.
Precisely. They removed the caramel coloring, making it appear like vodka or mineral water. It's a testament to how deeply Coca-Cola had become ingrained as a symbol of America, even influencing international relations.
Wow. It's amazing how something that began as a pharmacist's personal quest for healing became so intertwined with global politics and culture.
It's a reminder that even the simplest things can hold incredible power and meaning. Just like John Pemberton's journey from personal pain to accidental invention, the story of Coca-Cola is full of unexpected twists and turns, ultimately reflecting the complexities of human experience itself.
It's a story that sparks so many questions, doesn't it? How do personal journeys intersect with history? How do innovations born out of necessity become symbols of something much larger?
And perhaps most importantly, what does it tell us about our own potential to create lasting impact, even when we're simply searching for answers in our own lives?
Welcome back to our deep dive into the story of John Pemberton and Coca-Cola. It's a story that's taken us from the battlefields of the Civil War to the bustling drugstores of Atlanta, all the way to the global stage.
And throughout this journey, we've seen how a single individual's search for healing, for meaning, can lead to something that touches the lives of millions.
It's a story that makes me think about those moments in our own lives when we're facing challenges, maybe feeling lost or uncertain about our path. What can we learn from Pemberton's experience?
I think his story reminds us that innovation often arises from unexpected places. Pemberton wasn't setting out to create a global beverage empire. He was seeking relief from his own suffering. And yet in that search, he stumbled upon something that would change the world.
Yeah, it's almost as if his personal struggle was a catalyst for something much greater, like a seed planted in darkness that eventually blossoms into something beautiful and unexpected.
That's a powerful image. And it speaks to the idea that our struggles, while painful, can hold within them the seeds of creativity and innovation. They can push us to think differently, to find solutions we might not have otherwise considered.
So instead of viewing challenges as roadblocks, we might see them as opportunities for growth and discovery. Just like Pemberton's quest for a morphine substitute led to the creation of Coca-Cola, our own journeys of resilience and innovation might hold the potential to create something truly remarkable.
Exactly. And it's not just about the end result, it's about the process itself. The determination, the adaptability, the willingness to keep searching even when things are difficult. Those are the qualities that I find so inspiring about Pemberton's story.
It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit has the power to create, to connect, to leave a lasting impact on the world. And that impact might come in ways we never anticipated, just like Coca-Cola, evolving from a medicinal tonic to a global symbol of happiness and connection.
It's a story that invites us to reflect on our own journeys. What challenges are we facing? What are we searching for? And within those struggles, what possibilities might be waiting to be discovered?
Those are powerful questions to consider. As we wrap up this deep dive into the life of John Pemberton and the unexpected journey of Coca Cola, I'm left with a sense of hope and wonder. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find a way to create something extraordinary.
And who knows, maybe your own story with all its twists and turns holds the key to the next world-changing invention, or a simple act of kindness that brightens someone's day. The possibilities are endless when we embrace the power of resilience and the beauty of unexpected discoveries. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.